Hello, hello. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. I am waiting for Amanda to hop on and join me. Hi, guys. Hi, Britt. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining tonight. I am just waiting for Amanda to hop on. Hang on. She sent me a message really quick. I am actually super novice when it comes to Instagram Live. So she has really been holding my hand through this whole process. So she's texting me right now. So I'm trying to figure out how. Oh, here we go. Hang on. Here comes Amanda. Oh, you there? Hi.
Yay! We did it.
We did it.
I love it. I love it.
When it comes to Instagram Live and that you have been so patient with me. I feel like a grandma.
I know. Well, it's a little confusing to like do the guest thing, but
Yeah.
we got it. We got it. I'm so excited to be here to chat with you, my favorite vacation girl who sends me to all my fabulous places to talk about, I guess staying on track while on vacation and all the things.
Yeah, no, and thank you, Amanda, because I'm sure you get this question all the time. You way more than I do. I know I get it. I have so many people ask, like, how do you travel so often and not gain and keep on that 5 pounds every time you go somewhere? And so for me, obviously, it's a lifestyle, it's a business. So I had to learn very early on that every time I travel, it is not a vacation. But even when you are on vacation, you don't have to feel terrible when you get home. So I just thought this topic, like health and travel and how you can travel and stay healthy and stay on track with your goals is just such an important topic right now as we're heading into the holidays and everyone is getting ready to travel for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's, and then honestly into like spring break. So I just thought this was a perfect topic, and I know you have a lot to share as well. So if you want to jump in, you to start.
Yeah, and I think, it's like when I was young, we didn't travel. I mean, there wasn't like travel baseball, there wasn't travel sports. Like we had one big family vacation a year. We traveled to the next town for our families. And so I just feel like, fast forward a couple of, decades and now like travel is the norm.
Mm-hmm.
People are on the go for so many reasons nonstop. And I love how you started out, because Lordy, nobody travels like you do, but it is the perks of your job. But
Right.
it's almost like what we all have to recognize is that, the things that we do on the road need to be very similar to the things that
Mm-hmm.
we do when we're at home.
Right.
And the more that you can mesh the two, the more that you realize that, a weekend away, a week away, whether it be work or vacation, doesn't necessarily, have to sabotage your goals, your health and wellness. The more successful you are at creating consistency, because that's really what it's all about.
Right. Right. And also, in addition to consistency, honestly, it's about balance as well, because you obviously want to go on this vacation, you want to enjoy it, but you've also been working your butt off at home in the gym in the kitchen, making sure that you're staying on track and you're looking, your best and working towards your health and fitness goals. And so I just think there is a fine line of that you can follow to where you still enjoy your vacation, you still indulge, you still get to drink wine, and y'all know I was not coming on Instagram Live without some wine in me. You still get to enjoy, your dessert and the ice cream that the random bite of ice cream that your kids want you to have of theirs. So I just think there really is like a fine line that you can stay on and have that healthy balance of enjoying your trip, enjoying your entire vacation and your family, and not, be eating green beans off to the side while your kids are eating hibachi.
Yeah.
So,
And
and I
I
think
think it's
honestly, Go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, at the end of the day, your health and wellness is about creating a solid foundation. And
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the best things that you can do, really, regardless if you travel or not, is to really focus on what are those core habits that make you feel your best. And it's like when you travel, you want to look at those core habits and you want to figure out what of these, core habits can I continue with, while
Right.
I'm away, and what are these core habits that I'm going to have to be a little bit more flexible with. And I think that those core habits need to be around movement. They need to be around, hydration.
Yeah.
They need to be around, nutrition,
Mm-hmm.
sleep, those types of things. And it's like, these are the things that we do every day. We try to take more steps. We try to optimize protein. We try to eat the rainbow. We, try to limit alcohol, drink a ton of water. We, try to get workouts in, things like that. And then it's like when you go into your vacation or your time away, you look at these habits and you say, well, I can keep my step count up, so that I'm going to stick with. I can, while I'm drinking, wine every night, I can still make, staying hydrated a priority,
Mm-hmm.
so I can get my hydration in. My favorite line is don't eat like an asshole.
I
And
know.
it's like, I don't have to eat like an asshole every day. I can indulge at dinner and, make healthy choices at breakfast and lunch. So it's really about kind of what you said in the very beginning in terms of it's not the all or nothing,
Mm-hmm.
where you've like worked so hard and you've been so structured and, preparing for your vacation or whatever. And then you go on a vacation, it's just like you do nothing.
Right. You just like
That's,
throw like caution to the wind. You're all in vacation mode. Yes.
yes.
That's my husband.
Yeah, I mean that's that, and I think that's most people,
Yes.
myself
Yeah.
included. I mean, I
Right.
find myself in that scenario as well. So, I think we're, again, in terms of giving practical tips, through this call, I think number one, it's like, establishing the things that you want to hold on to
Mm-hmm.
consistently through your vacation, and establish the things that you're going to be a little bit more flexible with.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And that's one of my probably biggest things that I kind of follow is I keep my diet and my lifestyle that I follow here at home. I keep it the same when I'm traveling. And one of my big things, I know you've talked about this before, is intermittent fasting. I've done it for, I think, going on 6 years. And I swear it's the only way for me personally that I am able to still kind of travel, enjoy myself, and not come back every time, with the 5 pound weight gain. And so that I will say that's probably my biggest thing that I stick to. And anybody who's done intermittent fasting for any amount of time, as soon as the day you don't, it's so hard to get back into it. So I just know it's just like working out. The more you stay consistent with something, the easier it is. So I will say, like, personally, that's one of my biggest things is intermittent fasting when I am traveling. And honestly, I always let like my housekeepers or my butlers know that wherever I'm traveling, because then they know when
Don't
to.
bring me breakfast.
Yeah, no, don't bring it.
Yeah, don't bring it.
Yes, because I'll eat it. Like,
Right.
if there's food, I'm going to eat it. I don't like wasted food. And so I just make sure that they know as soon as we get there, like, hey, we fast until 11 every morning. So if you can bring breakfast around that time. And they're super accommodating about it, especially like when you do have and you stay at the resorts, like with the butlers and a little bit more upscale housekeepers. They're really good at making sure that they meet those requests of yours.
Yeah. And I love an all-inclusive resort, okay? Stephanie
Mm-hmm.
set us up at the most beautiful beaches in Jamaica. I guess was it last year?
Yes.
I guess it was
Yeah,
last year. I couldn't even keep
I
up.
know.
And we did get trapped there and she was
Yeah,
amazing.
that's
But
why I'm
anyway,
laughing.
and I think people use like cruises and all-inclusive resorts as like, I got to get my money's worth, it's
Yes.
like an excuse to like just gorge on food. And, I think it's like, for me, I go into those, buffets and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have 20 protein options. I have 20 vegetable options. It's just like there's so many amazing healthy options there. And then so I kind of load up on the foods that I know make me feel my best. And
Mm-hmm.
then I also love the fact that I get to sample just a little bit of foods that I just don't eat very often. So,
Right.
you know, with that type of, you know, kind of setup, it's again, it's like how you view it. You know, do you view it
Right.
as I'm gonna, you know, stuff myself? And I always say, because a lot of times people are like, I want to get my money's worth, you know? And at the end of the day, and you talked about food waste, I always say you either waste it outside your body or you waste it inside your body. And
True.
it's
Yeah.
like, you don't have to eat, you know, 20 desserts to, you know, get your money's worth. So, you know, recognizing that the ability to kind of stay on track with your food choices, even in those types of scenarios, all inclusive resorts and things like that, it's very doable.
Yes. Yes. And actually, that is a really good point, because just because it is all inclusive and it's not free, you've paid for it.
Yeah.
You're not paying for it along the way. Just because it is all included doesn't mean you have to eat like it's all inclusive. Like you were saying, you can pick and choose which menu items you want. And same goes for drinks. That's a big thing for me at resorts. Like the sugary drinks, A, are so caloric, so much sugar, and B, C, whatever number I'm on, letter, make you feel awful at the end of the day and the next day. So yes, they're fun. Yes, they're pretty. Enjoy one, or, you know, one a day or something, but the sugary drinks along with the food just add to that caloric intake. And so just another big thing with like the all-inclusive type resorts is make sure you're choosing a destination or a vacation that offers the higher end, you know, drinks and food and things like that, so that if you do partake in it and more than you would anywhere, as you should, it's vacation and you want to enjoy yourself, that you're doing so in a way where it's not just loaded with, for lack of a better word, like cheap ingredients.
Yeah.
You know, margaritas that are handmade, like right there in front of you, guacamole that's handmade right there in front of you. All of those little things add up and make such a big difference in the way you feel, and honestly in your experience as well when you're on your vacation.
Here's my other tip. Okay. So if I go on like a 5 day vacation, I work really hard to be really good the first couple of days,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like as the vacation goes on, it gets harder, you know, to
Yeah.
pass up the daiquiris and the free ice cream and things like that. So, you know, I look at it as I'm gonna like super indulge at the end of my vacation,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because again, once you start eating like sugar and, you know, over drinking alcohol and things like that, it's like a vicious cycle. You know, you
Yeah.
crave it, you want it, you need it, you sleep right like crap. So it kind of compounds itself. So it's like if you stay super tight, it's like I'm gonna get my fast in, I'm gonna get my walking in, I'm gonna, you know, limit my alcohol, I'm gonna, you know, keep my food really clean on day 1, 2, and 3. And then, you know, allow yourself a lot more grace on 4, 5, and 6. You
Yes.
don't end up, you know, again, leaving like miserable. Like the goal of a vacation is to rejuvenate, you
Yeah.
know, to relax and come out of it, you know, in a better place. And I think so many people leave vacation just based on their kind of food choices and alcohol choices, feeling like crap, you
Yeah.
know? It's
Yeah.
like a full detox when you get home.
Yeah, and I will say, you guys know I love my Disney. That's our baby. But the snacks there, people will literally plan their entire trip around the snacks. And it blows my mind. I mean, obviously, if that's what they want, that's what's important to them, then I make it happen.
Right.
Because that's what they want. But also, like, it doesn't have to be all about the food and all about the drinks. On the other side of the coin are the activities that you can do to kind of negate the food and the drinks and the lounging that you're doing that you typically don't do at home. So that kind of brings me into my next point of, like, choose a destination that is active. And it doesn't have to be anywhere crazy. Obviously, Hawaii, Kauai, Maui, even Oahu, the Big Island are all super active destinations. There's mountains, there's volcanoes, there's beach, there's literally every form of activity in Hawaii. But there's other destinations like Costa Rica, St. Lucia. I mean, people even hike in Jamaica, of all places. You've been to Jamaica. It doesn't look super mountainous, but there are mountains in Jamaica. Bless you.
7 Mile Beach. I was on the 7 Mile Beach. I walked all 7 miles.
And back. So you walked 14.
There you go. There you go.
So yeah, so I just think that, if you are going to eat at hibachi for dinner, or you're going to eat Italian, like, it's going to be heavy, do something more active in the morning to get that negative, that calorie deficit if you want. I know calorie deficit is hard for a lot of people, but to combat that meal that you're going to eat that night. And even if it's just a walk down the beach, it doesn't necessarily have to be like a workout at the gym with a trainer or anything like that. That's great, but it doesn't have to be that. It can be a hike. You
Just
can go
move your body.
Yes, I honestly really enjoyed paddleboarding with my kids, because it is a whole body experience, a whole body workout, especially when you're paddling your like other people on your paddleboard and waves. I'm sore when I get off of it. And so I just always make sure, because it's hard. It is very hard to get in like a workout when you're traveling with your kids. It's so busy. And you also want to relax a little bit too. So it's like, I don't want to get up, work out, take my kids to breakfast every single day on vacation, because I'm probably not sleeping in at that point. But if I know my kids want to go to the beach, I know that I can paddleboard, or I know that I can kayak, and just turn on my Apple Watch so that it counts all my calories for me, and to burn calories that way. So I just think that that's a really easy way to still feel good, enjoy yourself, and just, again, have that balance of both.
Yeah. I always feel like, calories at Disney don't count because you walk so darn much. Holy cow. I mean,
this is true. Yeah.
know?
I actually had a client text me a couple of weeks ago, and he was tracking his steps, and I think he said that they walked it was 30 something miles.
I feel like
over
20,000 is like the average at
Yes.
Disney,
Yes.
which is bonkers, kind of off the rails. So, I mean, again, so that's a huge benefit, where you can enjoy the Dole Whip and whatever else those like fun, I just like the turkey legs, I'm like, go get the turkey leg. That's a good snack right there.
Which is so funny, because in the Disney food world, that's the last thing any of them get. I'm like, are you kidding me? If there's a turkey leg, I'm getting it.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, again, someone was asking about, food at Disney, and for me, the biggest thing that I encourage my clients when they're on vacation and they're not micromanaging their nutrition is I really just encourage them prioritize protein, because we kind of have a set point in our body, and our body will continue to ask us to eat until we receive adequate amounts of protein. So when you sit down to a thing of chips and salsa, I mean, you're like, why do I eat two baskets of chips? And it's because your body's looking for the protein to go with it. So a lot of times when you just focus on that one macronutrient, and just make sure that, every meal that you're eating has an adequate source of protein, it really helps to fill you up and kind of offset the volume of everything else you're going to eat.
Right. That makes so much sense. Because I am the one eating the 2 baskets of chips.
Yeah. And I mean, those are, I always say, especially when you're eating out, protein's the most expensive part for that restaurant. They're going to skimp you on protein. And that's kind of why I love an all-inclusive, because I am give me all the protein. I lived on jerk chicken in Jamaica, and it was the most fabulous jerk chicken, ever. And I was like, this is amazing. I mean, I ate it almost every single day, because it was just such an easy way to get my protein.
Yes.
In the morning, get the omelets, I mean, even if you're fasting, do a late breakfast, because omelets are such a great way to get, start your day with protein. And I think it's just, you'll notice when you start your day with donuts and pastries, that's when it's a downhill spiral. That's when your hunger is just constant. So being conscious of kind of how you start your day, what you're kind of consuming at each meal, not so much micromanaging it, but recognizing that those are some important things to think about.
Right. And also recognizing how you feel when you eat those things. Honestly, for me, and this is probably very vain, but if I were to eat all donuts and pastries and everything that they offer, I'm not going to feel good in a swimsuit. I am not going to feel good in anything, even if it's in a t-shirt at Disney. I just don't feel good afterwards. So I think that's another thing to include, like to tag on with that, is just the way it makes you feel overall. And then in addition to that is your energy. I mean, when
Yeah.
you're going to have that crash at the end of, you know, a couple of hours of eating all those pastries and sweets and donuts. And not to say you shouldn't and you can't, because the churros at Walt Disney World with the chocolate sauce are amazing. Don't get me wrong. And the pretzel with the cream cheese, it is good, but you know, it's just not something that you do every single day or first
I'm gonna
thing.
have to get like the full food guide the next time I go, because and I'm gonna have to try all this stuff because sometimes I feel like it's a little overrated.
You know, sometimes I think it is. It's more like for a photo,
Nostalgia,
looks
kind of
pretty,
like you're
doesn't taste.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, so another really good point as we're talking about it is like choosing, like when you are thinking of travel, obviously this doesn't come into play for anybody getting ready to travel next week or during Christmas because your travel's already planned. But when you're thinking about, you know, next summer, next spring break, next Christmas, when you're getting ready to plan a trip, is think about the resort and the destination that you're going to. Does it offer more higher end foods, better forms of protein? Do they offer, you know, 24/7 room service so that if you fast until 11 or 10:25 every day, that they're going to get that to you? Because that does also make a big difference, because I have been to resorts that I've requested it and it comes at 9 a.m. and I'm just sitting there looking at food like, I'm not going to let you go to waste, but I'm also not going to mess up what I have going on as far as fasting. So I just think it also makes a big difference in your experience in general, and obviously in your lifestyle, and keeping you on track with everything, is choosing a resort and a destination that also helps cater to that, and resorts that are well versed and have the staffing to accommodate for those types of requests. And when I'm talking about those types of requests, I'm also thinking like allergies, food allergies, things like that. I have a lot of clients that are vegetarians, and I have some that are pescatarians. And so there's a lot of destinations that don't cater to that. They really don't know how to, but there are also a lot of resorts and a lot of destinations that do. Disney, honestly, is one of the best with accommodating those needs. And a lot of what you'll find is a lot of the higher end resorts, and I'm not talking super high end, I'm just talking your really nice resorts in general. They have the staffing to enable that, and they have the chefs that have the experience to come out and speak to you about, you know, what are your dietary needs? Are you gluten-free? Are you paleo? Are you plant-based? Are you kosher? And they come out and they speak to you like right when you sit, right when you're seated, so that they know how to prepare your meal. So I just also think, you know, even though that doesn't really seem like a big deal when you're thinking about starting to plan a vacation, when you're there, it really does make a difference in the overall experience when you can eat what you're used to eating and feel, you know, feel good about it and not feel awful the next day.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I think in this, day and time, people are very open to request, and I think that
Mhm.
we have to speak up and ask for, what our needs are. And in most cases, they can easily be met.
Right, exactly. One of the last things I kind of wanted to touch on, and Amanda, feel free to add on to this, is, you know, like we were talking about, just being active when you're on when you're on vacation, is like, you're probably one of my favorite people to save workouts for when I'm traveling, because 99% of what you do, I can literally take anywhere with me,
Anywhere. Yeah.
anywhere. And most of the time, not even in a gym. Like for example, when we were just in Jamaica, when we had our vow renewal last month, our friends came over to our room and they were like, "What is she doing? Just like, are you laying out?" And Bo was like, my husband, he was like, "No, she's getting ready to do one of Amanda's workouts." Just because like it's so easy.
So
And
simple.
right. And I didn't even have tennis shoes on. I literally packed like a sports bra and shorts, no shoes, no socks, right outside because it's hot. I was in Jamaica and I knew that, and got my workout done, got some sweat out, got some endorphins going, jumped in the pool. And it's honestly the best start to a trip. So if you don't have Amanda's workouts saved, start saving them. Create a folder. I can share with you mine because I promise you most of it is yours, of just workouts you can really take anywhere, with or without shoes, with or without weights, with a gym, without a gym. So anyways, all I have to say, I really appreciate your
Yeah.
workouts that you share with all of us.
Well, I don't know about you guys, but I love working out on vacation. Like, I feel like, I love the like slow pace of being able to like get up when I want, go to the gym or, do something in my room. And again, I like to do something just like really quick, like 30 minutes. And I feel like it just makes me feel better. I kind of like sweating off the night before, all the fun I had,
Yes.
kind of resetting for the day to come. So I also think it's fun, usually like in the resorts, I feel like they position the gym in such a pretty place, It
Yes.
usually has like a really good view or, you're watching the beach and so it can be really motivated to kind of get you going. But I love to pack bands and sliders. Those are really quick things that you can throw in your suitcase. They weigh nothing that you can utilize, but so many of the workouts that I use don't even require anything. I actually filmed a bunch of workouts when we were quarantined in Jamaica.
I was going to mention that. Yes, you did.
Yes. So I feel like that luckily that those kind of issues are hopefully behind us now, but
Yes.
Stephanie helped me navigate an extra, I think it was like 5 or 6 days in Jamaica with my daughter. We were with the, is it the Sandals family? Is that kind of what you call it? We were at beaches and they were phenomenal in terms of, working with them. But yeah, we just sat in our room and had jerk chicken delivered to us and did our workouts and all the things. So it doesn't have to be complicated.
Right. And it's so funny, really quick. I always laugh at that now. In the moment, nor you nor I were laughing at it, but I laugh now because you were my first. I only had 5 sets of clients test positive in destination over 2.5 years. So good job, great job to my clients. But you were my first and I had never navigated that road before, and you were just so kind and so happy all the time. And I appreciate that, and I appreciated your workouts. And with Molly dancing in the background, poor girl, bless her heart.
Yes, if you're gonna get stuck in Jamaica,
right? With a balcony. That's right.
With a balcony.
Yes.
It was. We made the best of it is what we did.
And you got extra days out of it at the end of it all, just you 2 girls.
We did. So
too funny. Well, do you have anything else to touch on before I was going to open it up for questions, do a little Q&A if anybody has questions?
Yeah, let us know if you have any questions. No, I think I think you are really just such a good example of how to, again, it's literally about creating consistency in your life, whether you're traveling or not.
Yes.
I think people struggle with creating consistency even when they're at home all the time. And I think that once you really realize that, it's those core things, those small kind of, 4 or 5 things that you commit to doing, all the time, most of the time, it becomes effortless. The only other thing I would add, and, again, if people, throw your questions in, is I always like to encourage my clients, most likely you're going to come back from vacation and the scale's going to be up. It's inevitable. Okay.
Right.
Really, even if you are super good, whatever. But I always tell them, I'm like, listen, you didn't gain 5 pounds in 5 days. Trust me. Okay. What you gained is a ton of inflammation. It's fluid. It's volume. It's, waste. And so as long as you realize that regardless of what happened on your vacation, if you just come home and you don't plan to starve yourself, you don't plan to, go on a crash diet or whatever, you just go back to your lifestyle, then in 5 to 7 days, that excess inflammation will be gone for sure.
Right. Yes.
So I think a lot of people will go on vacation, they'll live their best life, they'll come home and then they regret it. You know, they're like, oh my God, I regret that. I gained 5 pounds. And then that leads to more poor decisions, you know,
Right.
that
Right.
will negatively impact you.
Right.
Whereas if you come home and have no regrets and just reset, you know, immediately, you're going to be right back to where you were kind of in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah. Otherwise, it's a domino effect. If you
It's a
don't.
domino. Yes.
Yeah. So we did get a couple of questions. I saw one scroll by. Someone asked what like favorite, I guess, low calorie cocktail would be when you're vacationing.
Yeah, I mean, mine is going to be, I'm obsessed with the seltzers. Like, if they have high noons, I'm probably going to be drinking them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the little 100-calorie drinks. I also, so liquor itself is very low calorie. It has no carbs, no macros. So, I mean, you know, vodka, rum, you know, any type of liquor, tequila, it's what you mix with it. You know,
Yes.
so you're much better off having like a a rum and diet coke than you are having a rum and coke. You're much better off having a, you know, tequila soda with lime. I love to make kind of like a faux skinny margarita, you know, tequila soda with a lot of lime, versus like a tequila tonic or a tequila with a sugary margarita mix. So
Right.
really, you know, it just depends on kind of what you're mixing it with. I mean, light beer is good. Champagne, you know, wine. You just
I
sometimes you have
love
to be
language.
careful with like, you like the champagne?
I mean, it's like my blood type.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's great. I mean, I think that the issue you get with like beer is that, you know, we tend to drink like, you know, six of them or
Right.
sometimes 12, you know, depending
Yeah.
on who you are. So
Yeah.
it comes down to more of like the volume.
Right. Yep. I would agree. My go-to is always champagne or Tito soda. I know they're not super caloric. I don't, 9 times out of 10, I don't feel bad because the resorts that I usually am going to or recommending or booking clients at have the better champagne and the better vodka. So
Right.
I just think like overall, like those are my go-tos always.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, we have a couple of others. Um, One question asked, do you take your favorite snacks from home and do foreign countries allow them?
Oh,
So,
I love that question.
yes,
Yeah,
always.
absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yes. I mean, half my bag is filled with snacks.
Yeah.
And they're
Same.
usually like protein snacks. I mean, again,
Mhm.
like I am just very focused on optimizing protein. So, you know, I'll typically pack my protein powder. I've traveled internationally with that,
Mhm.
in my, you know, checked bag, chomp sticks, protein bars. So yeah, I definitely try to bring, you know, kind of healthier snacks. If I'm in a scenario where maybe I don't want to pack a bunch, then when I get to my location, I'll go to the store and buy things to kind of stock up on for sure.
Right. Yeah, same here. I was in on stories last night or the night before. We're packing for our Disney cruise next week, and one of the things that I was touching on were my snacks that I was packing. And because so many people, they're like, why would you take snacks? Like you're going on a cruise, it's all included. There's two reasons. One is because I know I have to travel there and back. So I know I need snacks on a plane. I'm going to need snacks at the airport. I'm not going to eat airport food. My kids will. It makes me feel really bad when I do. Um, the other aspect of that is they don't usually, wherever you're going, you usually don't have snacks in your room. So say I get back from the pool with my kids and it's 4 o'clock and everybody's starving, I'm going to have to go down and get something, or I'm going to have to rely on somebody to bring it in 30, 45 minutes. Whereas if I bring nuts, protein bars, chomps, same thing, packets of Skippy peanut butter are literally our go-to around here. Little things like that
There.
just kind of like carry us over so that we're not hitting up like the pizza bar every day at 4
At
p.m.
4 o'clock and then ruining your dinner.
Yes, ruining your dinner, feeling awful. Yeah, so yeah. And to touch on the second part of that question was, do international countries allow it? Yes, so it obviously depends on the destination. I've never had an issue. I know some countries are strict about powders, but it's usually like specific kinds of powder. So I've never had
And
an
sometimes
issue.
like fresh fruit and stuff, you
Yeah.
know, like you're good if it's like bagged and
Yes.
processed, but heaven
Yes.
forbid, don't bring an apple.
No. Yes. But I've never had an issue with like my seeds. I have these like keto, it's like a nut seed mixture. I've never had an issue with that, or the chomps, or jerky. Honestly, we're from Texas. We have a lot of jerky in our freezer all the time. We never have an issue flying with it, getting into a destination anywhere. So in my experience, no, I've never had that, that type of issue. Okay, sorry, I'm reading through some of these other questions. Oh, one of them is, can Amanda share if she has any beach workouts, I guess, after this live? I know you have some at a resort because I've seen several of them in your room.
Yeah.
And I remember in Mexico, out by the pool, you did some with your sliders and everything.
Yeah. You know, most of my workouts are on my YouTube page. I have a lot of like full length workouts on my YouTube page. Just search Amanda Nybert, or just DM me and I will send you the links. And then in my reels, I have just a ton of like, you know, do these exercises 10 times each, repeat 12 times, you know, 10 times, whatever. So you can kind of use those as well.
Right. And again, do literally anywhere.
Anywhere. Yes, anywhere.
Okay, let's see. Sorry, there's a couple of more. Did you see any other come through? Because I may have.
I haven't not, no.
Okay, there's a
I've been
couple
kind of watching.
I know. There's a couple in the question box. The other one says, are y'all ever going to travel together? Hopefully, that would be a blast.
Stephanie, take me with you, okay? I want to be your travel buddy.
God, that would be a mess. That would be a mess.
Yes. I feel like we need to make that happen. Maybe Stephanie, because everyone wants me to do a lean retreat. So maybe if I put Stephanie in charge,
I'm there.
Then we can make this lean retreat happen.
Hey, I'm there. You know, that's a thing. And there are wellness resorts out there that host things like that. So, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Why? I mean, I don't know why that didn't even cross my mind.
So I'm putting her in charge.
Hey, I've got you. Groups are my jam. The beach is my jam. I love wellness. So
that would be fun.
Okay. So we do have a couple of giveaways that we wanted to touch on. So Amanda, I'll let you kind of kickstart that.
Yeah, so you guys have a chance to win from me. I have a great vacation bundle. So my exercise bands, my sliders, which come with 10 workouts, and my 6-month planner is available. And then I'll let Stephanie tell you what she's got to give away. All you have to do is, after this live is over, share it. Just go to the live, click the share button, and it'll share to your stories. And you'll be entered for a chance to win that bundle. And what do you got, Stephanie?
Yes. So the other half of that, so we've got 2 different winners. We've got one that will win Amanda's vacation bundle. I personally will be giving away a deposit to either a Disney or a Caribbean destination of your choice. So that's part of the giveaway as well. So again, like Amanda was saying, all you have to do is share our live. It will go to your stories. Amanda and I will see that. We'll put it in like a raffle copter. Amanda probably has something way more sophisticated in mind than I do to pick a winner. And then we will get in touch with our winners. But anyways, just to reiterate, make sure you share our live and your story so that we can see it. Tag us also so that we can see that you shared it. And we will select 2 winners. We will post it to our stories tomorrow. Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow night. We'll give you 24 hours to kind of get it done. So those watching this on the replay can join as well.
Okay, perfect. Well, Amanda, I cannot thank you enough. You are literally the guru in my eyes. And I just want you to know how much I idolize you. As a mom, as a business owner, you're in your 40s and you look like you do. That's incredible. It's incredible.
45.
And you're so real all the time. You're real on stories. And what you see with you is what I get when I'm on the phone with you and you're stuck in Jamaica because your daughter tested positive for COVID.
That's right.
So I just want you to know I appreciate you so much as a client, as a friend. for coming live with me and helping me do an Instagram live like the grandma that I
You
am.
are welcome. And I have worked with Stephanie for the past couple of years, and I have to say the same thing for you in terms of what you're giving to the world. I hadn't really worked with a travel agent before I worked with you, and now I will never go back. It's the best thing ever. So I appreciate everything you've done to help us plan the most amazing family vacations. And I mean, in my situation, they've all been for free. So I don't know how you get paid, but I
Yep.
appreciate it.
Yes.
So it's been awesome to collaborate with you. And it's so much fun. We have to do it again.
I know we will. And to everybody who attended tonight, thank you so much. Don't forget to share these numbers up here, this video, share it to your stories, tag us so that we can pick 2 winners tomorrow, and we will post it in our stories. So be sure to check back.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Happy holidays.
Yes. Stay healthy.
That's right.
Don't eat or travel like an asshole. I'm just going to end
There
it
you
with
go.
that.
There you go.